Keir Starmer's attempt at humour in Pinewood Studios, which I noted was also referenced on Have I Got News for You, joking that he could become the next James Bond if he visits there often enough, landed with all the grace of a gadget malfunctioning in Q Branch demo. And in mocking Kemi Badenoch's claim that working at McDonald's made her working class, Starmer leaned into a kind of dull satire that offended no one except, it seemed, Kemi Badenoch herself. And in true Bond villain style, she sought to escalate it into a full-blown scandal. Badenoch, ever eager to seize the moral high ground, decried the joke as something that would spark resignations if uttered by a Conservative. I don't understand how. She characterised it as a left-wing slight against her heritage and values, claiming Starmer's Labour Party only respected ethnic minorities when they served its purpose. This rhetorical flourish, while polished, conveniently ignored a rather glaring blemish on her own record, her admission to hacking Harriet Harman's computer in 2008. If Starmer's Bond audition was embarrassing, Badenoch's attempt at moral outrage feels like Black Mirror meets Black Doves minus any artistic integrity. So the irony there is significant, isn't it? Badenoch herself once engaged in behaviour that, under the Computer Misuse Act, should or could have landed her in jail for up to 5 years. Yet here she is, pivoting from her digital transgressions to play the aggrieved party over a tepid quip about fast food. Her defence, that Starmer's joke could be labelled racist if made by a Tory, relies on a flimsy presumption that all jokes are judged equally, regardless of the teller's political or social context, and any joke made about Kemi Badenoch is made with some sort of racist intent. This is absurd. Starmer's joke, while not the height of wit, was clearly a jab at class signalling rather than race. Badenoch's response, however, transformed it into a kind of performance art, an effort to conflate her personal narrative with some sort of systemic double standard. But the theatre falls flat when the audience remembers her hacking scandal or the cavalier confidence with which she weaponised McDonald's as a badge of class mobility. I think with Badenoch's riposte landed as flat as Starmer's attempt at wit. Perhaps the real offence here is neither Starmer's uninspired humour nor Badenoch's melodramatic retort, but the sheer lack of substance in the exchange. Badenoch's suggestion that the left doesn't genuinely support minorities is provocative, but undercut by her own party's record on diversity and social justice. Meanwhile, Starmer's Bond quip and his earlier Christmas light debacle suggests that charisma isn't among his many plans for reform. Ultimately, this exchange tells us very little. If it tells us anything, it tells us that being dull is not necessarily a crime, but it is a waste of energy, isn't it? You know, when we have an entire range of interesting people to select to lead our country, either as the Prime Minister or as the leader of the opposition, we've got two plonkers who try very hard to read the scripts that they've been given and couldn't raise a laugh, even if the stuff was printed in capital letters 3 feet high. Badenoch's past brushes with illegality are more of a pressing reminder about how selective outrage can be weaponized, and perhaps both politicians should consider that when you're aiming for a laugh, a little self-awareness goes quite a long way. As for Starmer's Bond quip, yes, I mean, one's got to wonder what exactly what are the Bond credentials that he's aiming to emulate. Is it the ability with the one-liner, or is it some sort of predilection for using the bedroom as a way to get what he wants? I don't know. I would imagine I would imagine in terms of Keir Starmer's ability, both would fail. But who knows? Who knows what Keir Starmer is actually like, and what the what the real Starmer thinks is his potential to be the next James Bond. I wonder if there's going to be an audition.